European pair, Bernadette SZOCS, Sofia POLCANOVA, and here are their opponents.
Representing China, WANG Manyu and KUAI.
WANG Manyu, kuaiman. We've already seen WANG Manyu in action, and she comes out once again to table one. She'll be looking for a very different result from the one just a few moments ago. WANG Manyu in her quest for a trophy this weekend. She partners kuaiman, and they take on Bernadette SZOCS, Sofia POLCANOVA, carrying the hopes of the European continent on their shoulders. This is doubles, therefore it's a best of 5 games. Less margin for error, less time to warm up into the match. But they are playing for the World Championship title. That is how they line up. The Europeans, older, more experienced, lower down in the world rankings. kuaiman, WANG Manyu, champions-elect perhaps, or the Europeans cause an upset here. China expects, can China deliver? Mohamed Yamin is in charge for this one, and congratulations to him on his selection for these prestigious World Championships. It's a huge occasion for any player who makes it here, but it's also a huge occasion for any official who makes it here as well. And they've done such a wonderful job of overseeing this fast-paced action all week. Players making their way over to the coin toss.
Toss, black correct. Choose. Red for in the toss. They receive. You want which end? Which side you want? This side. POLCANOVA serve. POLCANOVA serve. KUAI receive.
That concludes the formalities then. SZOCS and POLCANOVA, the only European players to feature across all 5 finals this weekend. Then SZOCS on the left, Sofia POLCANOVA of Austria on the right. There's the Romanian player who has elected to be team leader, the captain of this team. She said she's happy to lead, and POLCANOVA is happy for her to do so as well. Here's the route that they've taken through to this final. They've had 2 straight games wins in the opening 2 rounds. Life then got a bit more difficult for them, but they had a fantastic semi-final win yesterday over Shinubin Yuhana, taking that one by 3 games to 2. That will give them real confidence. Adam Bobrow sitting alongside me. We watched that semi-final, and that was a really impressive win for the European pair, wasn't it?
Sure was. It showed that they can hang in there with speed and a righty-lefty combo. On the other side, you got exactly that. kuaiman and WANG Manyu getting through Bielogos and Veggen 3-0. Korean DPR, Cha and Pak 3-0. Not a game dropped against Lee and Kong. And Diakonu and Maria Xiao in the mixed association pairing, and you saw their semi-final to get here. The fan votes, fascinating.
Fascinating, but perhaps not surprising. It is the Chinese pair who are expected to win. They're the favorites to take this title.
You know what, you're right. I used the word fascinating. What I meant was not fascinating, as expected. No, they're definitely the favorites here, but Bernadette SZOCS is a very creative player, and Sofia POLCANOVA has been playing out of her mind for quite some time. She's been a leading European. She's good in the rally. She's got the wingspan, but she's quick to recover. Her backhand, her timing, her step around, her serve, her feel. I mean, yes, by most standards, it would be quite an upset, but they've made it here with the one step further.
Quarterfinalists 2 years ago, they've gone 2 better.
First game.
That's really quite something for the European pair.
KUAI to receive. Love all. One love.
Well, what will be the key for the Europeans to get past kuaiman and WANG Manyu, because they are the overwhelming favorites to take this title?
They're going to have to keep it unpredictable. They're going to have to change patterns and not try to win on speed alone. Variety, and here's the arc.
Love to.
This is one major factor, key ingredient in the recipe that helped Bernadette SZOCS beat Chen Meng twice in recent history. The back-to-back Olympic champion. Few Europeans have beaten both Chen Meng and Sunying Xia. Bernadette is that European.
1, 2.
And crucially, they have belief, and they're great friends off the court as well. We saw yesterday that chemistry translating into that really amazing win for them as well. And they'll be looking to draw on that as well.
Yeah, it's always nice to have a partnership with someone who makes you a better version of yourself.
2-all.
I think that's an important factor in doubles. You'll see players, especially when someone's world #1 playing with someone much lower in the world rankings, sort of taking responsibility. If you don't win the point, they'll turn and they'll say, my bad, I can do better. And that gives someone else confidence, like, oh, cool, it wasn't my fault, great. I'm doing everything all right, cool, perfect.
3-all.
Well, the Chinese pair, they've already got one trophy to their name this season. They took the women's doubles trophy at the Singapore Smash, so they can get to the finals. They know they can compete at the highest level. And certainly WANG Manyu, we need to talk about her in just a moment's time. That epic final against Sun Ying-shan in the women's singles. How will that affect her in this game? Will she think I'm even more determined now to get a trophy?
It's a good question. I think you use whatever you can, right? Make lemonade, so to speak. Just take whatever you can to pump yourself up, give you the best shot.
4-all.
WANG Manyu has played, this is her 3rd Women's Doubles World Championship final. She's won both of those finals. Before the match in singles, she'd won all her finals that she'd played in singles as well. Put up quite a fight. Oh, the placement on this one, deep to the table, smooth and quick. Sofia steps around. We have to remember, from the start of this match, the European pair was leading. Again, I'm not into predictions, but this is probably the most one-sided fan vote of the day. That's simply data, but the play on the table adds to it. A 2-point lead for the European pairing, covering there with a fast reaction. And again, Polcanova was moving. They're both just adapting so quickly, improvising where they have to. Look at that. Gets the upper body out of the way. Bernie to create the forehand from the middle. Zhang Jie on the left, Coach Seni on the right. Smart placement into that crossover. Now, one thing we haven't mentioned, in the women's game, we see a lot more backhand-to-backhand rallies because it's so fast. The women play closer to the table for speed and reaction time, and they can recover quickly with the backhand.
6-all.
Pendulum serve here. Bernie attempting that flick into the middle, looking for an elbow. I like it. Flat, very little rotation, which would force the opponent to lift. Oh, parallel for parallel. Kuaiman comes back quickly.
She's been a great breakout star, hasn't she, Kuaiman, for this doubles team?
Yeah, in recent history, it's actually a major surprise to me. And I understand why and how, but that Shi Yao was here for singles. She earned her spot internally at the competition, much like Team Japan with Kenji Matsudaira and Sora Matsushima.
But it's a good problem to have when you've got that much strength and depth that you have to drop someone like Kuaiman.
I think the mentality is, don't let anyone rest on their laurels or their world rankings. That's 6 straight points here for Kuaiman and WANG Manyu, the 2nd seeds to set up game point. Remember, it's a best of 5, as all doubles have been throughout this event.
Well, the Chinese pair take it at the first time of asking 11 points to 6. WANG Manyu's been in this position before, 2 times champion in the women's doubles. Bronze medalist at the last edition, guaranteed at least a silver alongside Kuaiman.
Second game, KUAI to serve.
The second game, then the European partnership under pressure.
Level.
They say they know they're representing their entire continent, but they are happy to take that pressure on. How are we going to see them perform in this second game? Losing the opener, 11 points to 6.
They started strong. We have to remember they were up 6-4 before 7 points in a row were taken by the second seed.
One love.
I think the adjustments that they're going to have to make is, one, using the short game, playing angles. Smart, quick. And when you make the attack, stay on the attack. Sometimes that'll mean changing pace. That's a very fast opener. And then also going against intuition. There was a whole table open on the forehand side for kuaiman. Came to her backhand.
1, 2.
This is what we call thinking a few moves ahead, recognizing what the opponent would expect and giving them the exact opposite. Not easy to do because they expect a high percentage shot, which is the safest to take. There's the angle.
2-all.
And Bernie right on top of the bounce. What are you thinking?
Well, I'm thinking it's interesting to see both teams at the left-hand, right-hand combination.
Yeah, it's an advantage. In doubles, it just makes it easier since you have to alternate shots every shot to not get in each other's way, share the space comfortably. Nice adjustment here from kuaiman. That Bernie flat hit, the flick with very little rotation on it. kuaiman with the perfect read, then WANG Manyu, shallow spin. Now, in terms of the surprise factor, Bernie's shot is no longer a surprise. It's just in the last few. She's showing by opening the wrist where she's going to go. It's not an easy ball to play, but kuaiman knows where to be and then figures I'll get there first, and then I'll lift as much as I have to once I see how much spin is on it.
2-5.
Well, this Chinese pair have been absolutely unstoppable all week, yet to drop a single game. All 3 nil scorelines.
Oh, second bounce, the touch after a chop block from kuaiman. Chop blocks are always beautiful, and there's a tomahawk chop block response from Sofia. But WANG Manyu keeps it on the table. It's a great table. The ball really bites on that bounce. On the move.
6-3.
The wingspan, the fast feet, and the short side of the table. Sofia not afraid to flirt with disaster, to play with fire. And it all pays off. Still trailing by 3, though, the European pair.
It was a great combination, wasn't it, from the Chinese pair? Just so quick to move themselves back into position.
They were playing a touch game, a game of hot potato after that net. After this, it was all control. And they give the first attack to POLCANOVA, but they give it deep. This is a smart way to go in doubles. If you're gonna push, push deep so you have a predictable ball for your partner. I can't say that with certainty. Obviously, it depends on the positioning of the opponents. But often we see that when you know you don't have a chance to get a good attack in, or you can't keep it short very comfortably, just be very decisive and keep it deep.
Two consecutive points, though, for the Europeans. Could this be a changing point?
Definitely could be. They started off, again, we had a good look at what they're playing for, the WJ Pope Trophy. And to go down in history as world champions. This is one of the biggest titles and the most long-standing title in the game. 1926. Next year will be 100 years of this title, of this event, the world champs.
And in that 100 years, you'd have to go back to 1987 to find the last time a Chinese pair didn't win this title.
Good,
6-8.
Yeah, the Korea Republic pair, Hyun Jung-hwa Yang Youngja. Oh, the length on this. They go back and forth, but this is where they start to pull away. 6 was the stopping point in game number 1 for the European pair. That shot may look easy, but I guarantee you it is not. Oh, and a mix-up after a half-long push. It's right to the baseline, constantly changing their tactics, their placement, keeping it unpredictable. Nice side swipe from kuaiman into the elbow.
11-6, second game.
Well, it's another 11-6
WANG.
scoreline for the number 2 seeds. A single game away now from taking this World Championship title. SZOCS and Polcanova still can't take a game of these incredibly dominant Chinese players. They haven't dropped a game all week, and they don't look like they're in danger of doing so now.
Oder wenn sie mir so schuppen, mir kurz in Rückhand, ich kann nichts machen.
Lenny, okay, come on.
Sunt bune, vine mingea înapoi, trebuie să avem continuitate, riscăm, încercăm să dăm. N-am încredere să facem. Hai, jucăm până în capăt.
Sofia Polcanova, Bernadette SZOCS looking to become
Polcanova
the
to
first
serve.
European players
Double.
to win the Women's Doubles World Table Tennis Championships. They have a mountain to climb. This is a must-win for them. Quarter-finalists 2 years ago. You like the look of that shot, Adam?
Yeah, it takes a lot. Remember, Sofia Polcanova here has one of the biggest crossover sections in the game, and still she finds a way to turn the body and get that back in to save the point. Back edge of the table, what are you thinking?
Well, I'm thinking that this is a must-win game for SZOCS and Polcanova. How are they going to approach this? Will it be shock and awe? They can play with absolute freedom. What do you think?
I think it's going to be a fine balance of surprise. I think freedom is that word, playing freely. Some coaches will train players to play in a playful sense, to get creative. I mean, Truls Morgaard, there's a reason he's caused so much trouble for other players. Oh, the nice slow shot here. kuaiman, don't know if it caught the edge of the racket, but it came in low. Bernie and Sofia keeping it in play for quite some time. But back to your question, as we have a timeout now, a little more time to talk about it, potentially, they're going to have to try something a bit funky. What are their strengths? And in their strengths, how effective is that against the opponent?
Dă-i prea tare, totul cu aspect decisiv. Stai pe ea și ți-am spus 80%, 90%, să meargă pe masă, să fie agresiv, dar tu faci numai decisiv. Și atunci ne-a pus să închizi. Hai, să jucăm, Ce încercăm? Riscăm un pic?
Eu deja
Știu, dar vine mingea înapoi, da,
ce să
corect.
fac?
Dă mâinile, n-am ce să faci, că vine mingea înapoi, așa este, e foarte bine, dar e greu.
Good job.
Hai.
Come on, Vinny.
Încercăm, jucăm. Hai.
What is the message then for the Europeans? Their backs against the wall here.
Well, I think there's going to have to be that sort of, hey, again, you've got nothing to lose, take some chances. When the opportunity presents itself, take a big shot, and then get ready for the ball to come back every time.
2-3.
A bit of fortune, but it is the perfect restart.
It's always nice to get the first point out of your timeout. A little bit of coal in the chamber here, some fuel in the fire, a little bit of mojo and whatever you put mojo in.
3-all.
Now, variation is the game. Asia versus Europe. In the women's game, it's not the same as it is in the men's game. In the semifinals on the men's side for singles, we had 2 flags outside of China, 2 flags that weren't even Asian. That's impressive. In the women's game, top 5 in the world, Chinese. Ooh, an edge. The reason I bring that up is Asia versus Europe. Asia is faster. Europe is a bit taller, which means slightly behind the table. Different styles of play based on physicality. But being small, this is one of the beautiful things about table tennis. Mima Ito, Satsuki Odo, Sun Ying-xia, about average, not tall. So the Europeans are not going to outspeed the pair on the other side. They're going to have to do it with altering spin, keeping it unpredictable, and trying to stay close to the table where they can, basically. But it's going to take a lot. 4 points apiece.
Four, 5.
All right. Suffocating speed. She turns so quickly, the racket high. They have such a loose grip right before they decide if they go backhand or forehand. They have to stay loose until they decide, until they commit.
Seven, 4.
No one really looked like they wanted to commit during that point.
This is clever here. So again, it's looking for the opportunity. Kuaiman takes a chance, but then she becomes an obstacle, bait for Bernie to hit back at. This is unstoppable. The backhand from WANG Manyu. I mean, really, she came quite close to becoming the world champion in women's singles. That was an incredible battle, her versus Xia. And in doubles, she's never played a final at this event that she's lost. Never a silver, only gold when she plays a final.
5-8.
Timeout called here.
Time out.
It's nice to have that cushion of a 2-0 lead and a 3-point lead here, just to make sure you close it out.
Why do you think they have called the timeout with that comfortable lead that they've got?
Well, it's clearly not so comfortable at this point in time. I think a shot that makes you feel like you were slightly underprepared. You got something that you're like, wait a minute, I don't want this to happen again quickly. I don't want it to get on the scoreboard or in my brain for future points. I need to close this out. Also, one of the advantages of being the stronger pair is that when you have the lead, you can call preventative timeouts as opposed to reactive timeouts. WANG Manyu's had a lot of time on the table today. It was, what, 1 hour 28 minutes, her earlier match. And not that much time has passed. We didn't have a long break between the first session and the second session today. So think about if you were in her situation. Close to the finish line, but 3 points away. The others have played incredibly well. Sofia POLCANOVA and Bernadette SZOCS creating history to even be here. You don't get here on luck. Not at the World Championships. This is the biggest event in a year with 4 grand smashes.
5-8. Let 5-8.
And a chop block once again from Kuaiman. This shot, I love seeing this shot, and I feel like we don't see it so much on the Chinese team. Oh, the creativity, and it leaves the ball sizzling with spin under the table.
10-5.
5 championship points then for Kuaiman and WANG Manyu. Second seeds here, utterly devastating. And that's what they're playing for. Kuaiman, WANG Manyu do as expected. They are the world champions. It's a 3rd World Women's Doubles Table Tennis Championship for WANG Manyu. An absolutely wonderful day for her. Silver in the singles, gold in the doubles. And kuaiman, what a performance as well this week. She is a wonderful, wonderful doubles partner. And it was, well, they made it look easy, but it certainly wasn't.
Yeah, without dropping a game, WANG Manyu and kuaiman. kuaiman only got to play 2 of the 3 events here. I imagine in 2 years' time we will see her in singles. Being world number 5 is not enough. You still have to earn it internally. WANG Manyu, one of the 2 best in the world in singles, and in doubles right now. Her fighting spirit is admirable. The Chinese flag will fly once again. This was success. When you think about all the 5 events here, there was only 1 event that China did not take, the Japanese men. And up there, we see Liu Wei, Shan Chou Yi Ke, Shi Shunyao, Wang Yidi. We've got the whole crew there, up-and-comers, making sure they've got it straight this time around. The pride of China, Ping Pong Chiu, table tennis. I love it that they share it with the fans. Get on your feet. You've come here, you've flown from far. Thank you for supporting us. It always feels like home. And look at the smiles. WANG Manyu and Ma Lin. Oh, the biggest smiles you will see. It's so nice. They're human after all. It's just a lot of pressure, and it takes so much focus to get to this point. The champions have done proud by 1.4 billion. And whether you're watching in a movie theater right now or at home, you know that you just saw excellence. And for the Romanian and the Austrian standing side by side, what an incredible run to only meet the champions here in the final.
Well, that's how the match panned out. Demolition job for kuaiman and WANG Manyu. Straight games victory over Bernadette SZOCS and Sofia POLCANOVA, quarterfinalists 2 years ago, reaching the final this year. So that's a wonderful job. Well done for the European pair. But they just couldn't match the class of kuaiman and WANG Manyu. Almost twice the number of points won for the Chinese pair, 33 versus 17. Quickly through that one, just 21 minutes on the clock, and I'm sure WANG Manyu will have been pleased with that, given that she had that marathon women's singles a little earlier on, over an hour, well, almost an hour and a half on the clock, rather, not over an hour and a half, but still a lot of table tennis in her legs today.
Yeah, it wasn't an easy start either. The Chinese pair was down 4-6, and then they won 7 straight points and just never really stopped with that dominance. I'm curious to hear what they'll have to say. We'll have a chance to hear from the champions down on court with our very own Iggy.
Mandy, congratulations. You are now a world champion. Express, how does that feel to win this doubles title in the World Championships?
恭喜2位拿下世乒赛的女双冠军。那首先，请问蒯曼现在成为冠军，心情如何？
首先还是非常开心吧，能和曼玉姐获得本次比赛的双打冠军吧。然后也是一局未输的情况下吧。然后赛前确实我们也没有想很多，然后每一场比赛都做了很充分的准备吧，不管在哪一个方面吧，不管每个细节都做得很好，所以最后能取得冠军还是非常开心。
Well, firstly, I'm very happy to have won this women's doubles title together with WANG Manyu, and I'm even more happy that we haven't lost even one single game. Actually, before going into this World Championship, we didn't really think a lot about what we could achieve, but we were well prepared going into each match in terms of all aspects. So I'm very delighted that we made it.
WANG Manyu, congratulations. You've had a great week. On reflection of this great week, tell us what you think of this week and your great partnership with Mandy.
那也恭喜曼玉在过去一周，2位为我们奉献了非常精彩的表现。那么回顾过去一周所有的比赛，包括现在跟蒯曼一起摘得了冠军，有什么样的感受呢？对2位的配合有什么样的评价？
我觉得回顾这一周自己的表现还是非常好吧。 不管是女单还是女双，我觉得都拼尽了自己全力。然后包括今天跟蒯曼的女双也是一定要守到这个冠军，然后把这个冠军拿到属于中国队。
Looking back on the past week, I think I've done an excellent job. No matter it's for women's singles or women's doubles, I've gave my everything. As to women's doubles with kuaiman, I'm very glad that we made it to be the champion in the last, and now we have ensured that this champion belongs to Team China.
Well, you are champions, you're world champions. Congratulations once again, and we wish you best of luck for the future partnerships between you two.
那再次恭喜两位成为女双世界冠军，希望你们今后的配合越来越顺利。
Well, what an exciting partnership, and how many more world titles will they win? I get the sense that this is perhaps just the beginning for kuaiman and WANG Manyu as a pairing. Congratulations indeed to them, world champions in the women's doubles. Well, that is what they've played for, this prestigious, these historic trophies, enduring symbols of excellence in table tennis. Well, we will shortly bring the curtain down on these World Table Tennis Championships here in Doha, the 58th edition of this illustrious event. And what a week's competition we've had. Held on every odd-numbered year. It's contested across 5 different disciplines: men's singles, women's singles, and men's doubles, women's doubles and mixed doubles. The world's best players competing for 5 of the most historic trophies in the sport's history. We've had a fantastic day of action. This is how it's looked. Hiroto Shinosuke and Shunsuke Togami getting off the mark for Japan, going the distance against Cao Cheng-rui and Lin Minru to claim the gold in the men's doubles. Sun Yingsha stunned Wang Manyu in an epic, a marathon 7-game women's singles final. That is one to watch on the highlights. Wang Qin-kun, world number 2, took the men's singles, defeating Hugo Calderano of Brazil, who was looking to make history, but he couldn't outlast Wang Chuqin. Wang Manyu, kuaiman, a demolition job in the women's doubles finals, denying Sofia Polcanova and Bernadette SZOCS. Well, let's have a look then at Wang Chuqin. He is the world champion in men's singles, the 2nd seed, seizing his opportunity. Strong against Hugo Calderano, who had his opportunities too. But Wang Chuqin, strong in every aspect, physically, mentally, and overjoyed by taking his first World Championship title.
It's just so exciting to see him finally smile on court to celebrate. You're holding it in for so long. This is a playful child who's taken his whole life. Instead of playing Go professionally, he chose table tennis. And he's been through the ringer, the washing machine. He's had his hurdles, he's had his turbulence. But with the world behind him here, he focused incredibly hard, worked incredibly hard. There are no shortcuts to success. And we saw the women as well, kuaiman and Wang Manyu. Wang Manyu here today, her 2nd final was very strong. It's her 3rd time becoming a world champion in women's doubles over a strong, seasoned pair of 30-year-olds. And Sofia POLCANOVA and Bernadette SZOCS. So the Chinese flag flies high once again. We'll have a chance to hear that national anthem, the most famous song in modern table tennis. Stand up, he says, get up. China, thank you for supporting us. Together, we did this. And that's the feeling in China, togetherness.
And there's a look then at the results. Great day.